That is a lot. That's a lot of wine.
Yeah, this is a lot. Yeah, quite a bit. Most of our barrels are 260, roughly 270 bottles, but we use a lot of slightly larger barrels, 300 and 340 and 350 liter barrels. So closer to 30 plus cases of wine per barrel.
270 bottles. That would do it. That would,
Yeah, that's plenty.
Tied me over for a while.
Well, let's see, one a day. That's not even one a day. Everybody has to drink a bottle of wine a day anymore.
Oh man.
How did agriculture get you to where we are today?
Well, it brought us all the way from Pennsylvania in the 1600s. And we went back through the family tree. Every generation of Bookwalter was involved in farming across the Midwest, through Missouri, Nebraska. My dad's dad was the first to come out to the West Coast in California, and he grew peaches and walnuts. My dad grew up on a peach and walnut orchard. And then my dad was the first to move to Washington in '76. So he managed the largest planting of vinifera grapes in the early days when then there was only a couple thousand acres of wine grapes in the state. And frankly, the Tri-Cities, the foundation of Tri-Cities is really farming. I wanted to be an entrepreneur, and my dad was an entrepreneur. When he managed the property here in '82, he quit and started 5 businesses like every classic entrepreneur. Not great at several, but a couple of them stuck. And so he started the winery in '83. Actually, we made wine prior to that. We used to make dandelion wine from Edwin Markham. We used to go there and pick dandelions, and we make some god-awful wine, or Dad did, in the basement of our house. So here I was on a parallel path of selling wine, and then I'd stayed in the beverage category. I had the opportunity, before being offered to move back to Texas, where I'd already lived once, to come here to Eastern Washington and help out my folks. And I figured I better do that before I moved from Seattle back to Texas. So I took the chance to work with the folks who needed help selling wine, frankly.
So, this is a tasting room we built about 4 years ago. The whole idea with this room was it'd be illustrative. The anatomy of a grape, which is straight out of Starbucks. They do the anatomy of a coffee bean.
Okay, yeah.
Life cycle of the vine. So you're looking at, okay, where are we at right now? We're cutting shoots. We're here in February, March time frame. Trellis maintenance. That's what we begin to do.
I've been here 10 to 12 times, and that's the first time I've actually realized you have the months on there.
Yeah, the months they're very tall. They're very tiny. Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently, I'm supposed to be doing trellis maintenance right now, but bud break is in April. That's true.
Apparently, I need a lesson on what to do when I come here.
Okay. Well, just look at the walls.
Okay, good.
That's the aroma wheel, which is our standard of all the aromas that exist in wine. And then over here, you have all the different biblical names for all the different size bottles, and that's the formal historical name of all these size bottles.
Oh, that is fantastic.
Yeah. And then the reader's library, because everything we do is literary, hence why we have a library room, and of course the big library ladder. That was going to be my DJ booth. I haven't got there yet. Again, back to being illustrative. This is the whole winemaking process. So this is the process that we go through all the way through putting wine in a bottle. So again, back to that illustration.
We're an urban winery. We're not out at the vineyards, 20 miles out of town. We're right here in the heart of Richland, essentially. Queensgate has become one of the new busiest sections of the Tri-Cities in Richland. So we're right in the center of it. If you think about what we can grow here in Benton, Franklin counties and Grant counties, what have you, we can grow anything but citrus. And this truly is one of the most remarkable places to grow just about anything. And when you think about the top crops in Washington, spearmint, legumes, onions, carrots, cherries, apples, potatoes. A lot of those are top 5 production in the United States. So this is one of the truly great growing regions and bread baskets of the world. It's the pride that you take in making something of very high quality. But I can make a wine, and 10 years from now, you can open that wine and you can send me a text and go, I just opened up a 10-year-old bottle, maybe even a 20-year bottle of wine, and it provided pleasure and enjoyment for you. To think that I had that impact, to think that I did that, I think that's super cool. So it's this lasting, powerful impact I can have on your enjoyment of a product that we've made. I mean, that's where I take pride in, is what we make. But when we took over Fable, for example, it was a rundown old building that really had lost didn't get a lot of love for a long time. But I was sitting there the other day and I go, I don't know if I'm ever going to make a lot of money there, but I think it was my civic duty to bring that location back to life, because there's very few restaurants on the waterfront.
Yeah.
So I really felt like, in a way, this is my job. I can do this.
Yeah.
And it's my responsibility to the community to create more cool places to hang out that makes it a better place to live. And we're all part of that. So I think it's the rising tide raises all ships.